I'm Anthony Mendez.
Randy Dixon.
Amar Scott.
Time to go.
With the whole him getting drafted thing, it was all planned. If you sit there and think about it, with the drafting, the show, everything with that, and then when he got to St. Louis and they nipped it in the bud, he had this plan. The sad part is he's using his sexuality to get over. You know, I know because I was talking about it with these guys before Hard to Paint the show even got started. Because the first thing I said, it's not about the football. I said, it's supposed to be about the football. You are a football player. Granted, you are making history for being the first openly drafted gay player in NFL history. And that's understandable. And I mean, I know people will talk about that. It was like the same thing with Jason Collins. And if you think about that stuff, that was kind of plotted too.
Yeah, it was, because he was trying to resurrect his career.
Okay, now,
Fuck
now,
hold on.
I'm almost done.
Okay.
I'm almost done.
Oh, man, this motherfucker.
But even with that being said, you know, it's like this dude, and I don't know if he cares. To me, he's not at the point right now. He's not helping the gay cause because he's sitting there. He's turning this about himself instead of trying to
the community as a whole.
Instead of trying to help out the gay community.
That's what I mean. He's using it as a crutch.
Yes, he's using it as a crutch.
He's trying to use it as a crutch.
And instead of him using this for gay rights, because I mean, if you think about gay rights, it came a long way over time. And like I was saying with the whole Ellen stuff, I give her bravery. I give her credit because she got shit canned. Everybody talked down to her. She got destroyed for years.
And she's a great comedian.
And she rose back up. I mean, you think about it nowadays, especially with kids, and if there's kids out there, you know, that may like the fair sex. I mean, be brave enough to come up and say it. It's a new world now. Yeah. I mean, it's still bigots out there, and there's still people that can't accept it.
Yeah, there's a lot more people that are accepting.
But now it's open. It's a free world.
But don't make them heroes just because that's what they do.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if he was a kick-ass defensive lineman, we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. If he was legit coming straight out of college, this wouldn't have been a problem. You know what I mean?
I mean, it would have came up, but it would have been on the lower scale.
See, look at when teams are going to the draft and they're analyzing these players and everything they can do or how they can fit into their teams. If Michael Sam was that guy, he would have got drafted higher. It has nothing to do with him being homosexual or nothing like that. But like you said, I am sick and tired of turning on the TV, and that's all the reason why he's being talked about is because he's a gay guy. That's the only reason why he's being talked about. And that pisses me off.
It's gay. It's gay then football. It should be
football
then gay.
Then gay. You're right.
Gay shouldn't even come into play.
It really shouldn't. I don't care about a player's personal life. I don't care about Wes Welker popping Molly in his spare time. I just care about what Wes Welker's doing on the field.
Okay. The question now that I have for you guys, knowing the way that it went, you know, with everything that may have hindered him. Now, him coming out gay or whatever like that, hey, he did it. Congratulations, you know, for having the bravery to do that. But the whole Oprah stuff, the, you know, kissing his life partner and everything else, if he had an opportunity to not do that, do you think he would have went about it differently, thinking that maybe, you know, the executives would have looked at him in a different way? That would have made a roster?
I don't even care about him.
I think he would have pulled it a different way.
But you know what?
Because he seen it wasn't about the football no more. He realized, and see the problem is when he made a major announcement like this, and then you got the handlers, whatever company it is, because you probably know it's a gay organization or something like that.
Or something.
Yeah, it may not even be that. It may just be his agent. It's like his agent tells him.
It's like one of them side. But see, when stuff like this happens, it's not just only the agent. It's like when something monumental like this, it's another agency that hook up with him. And you know, they tell them, okay, you need to do this, this, and this to try to forward. Here, we need to show to try to forward our rights. And it's like, you sitting here, you're hindering this dude because with you doing that, instead of him being able to become a good football player, and I mean, to me, yeah, he's turning stuff into a sideshow. And now if he become a great football player, that has more meaning.
Yeah, because
for him coming out.
The reason why I ask that is because, you know, like we said earlier, there are still some people that are uncomfortable with it. Some of them,
There's a lot of people that are probably uncomfortable with it.
Still may be NFL executives, still may be coaches, still may be some players. That may have hurt him. Now, if he came out gay, that's fine. You know, people got to deal with their own shit their own way. But what I'm saying is, if he would have approached it differently, he may be on a 53-man
But see,
roster.
that's the problem. That's the problem when you got handlers. You got too many damn handlers.
I have
that's in there saying
to
something.
object to that though, because like even though you got NFL executives, maybe owners and stuff like that who don't agree with that lifestyle, at the end of the day, they want to win. If this guy can get to that quarterback like that and do those swim moves and get through those offensive linemen, they're not going to care if he's a blind drunk monkey. They're going to sign him to the fucking team because, hey, this guy can help us be successful. It's the same thing when black players came into the league. It was the same thing. People didn't want to sign these players because they were black. But I'll tell you what, that changed real quick when they saw what these guys can do.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about winning. Like a lot of people try to give, I'm going to switch real quick. A lot of people try to give Branch Rickey credit for signing Jackie Robinson. But you know what? He signed Jackie Robinson #1 because he was a great fucking ball player.
Yes.
Okay.
If he wasn't shit, if he wasn't shit
That's
and
kinda
black,
hard to compare-
it wouldn't have mattered.
compare
This
to-
guy had a plan. He wanted the Dodgers to be better than everybody else. This guy was one of the best hitters, base stealers in the fucking game at that time. That's why he signed him.
And outfielders.
Yeah, that's why he signed him. And then that's why he had other players lined up too.
Hello?
Because at the end of the day,
Hey,
City out here.
you said what? Okay.
Oh, we need to move
Well,
on
I'll
from
get
it
it.
anyways. We've been
Filming
spending
right now.
way too much time.
That's why. That's
We spent like probably 10, 15 minutes on just that.
we talked about it, so we can get it out the way. We're never gonna talk about it again unless he goes and shows out.
Yeah,
I will say this, even though
this.
whatever that Dallas is the perfect spot for him.
That was a
Because
good conversation though.
Jerry Jones is if there's an owner that
Yeah.
can handle that media, it's Jerry Jones.
Okay.
See, my thing
I
is,
appreciate that.
like,
Thank you.
I don't know. This goes back to Jason Collins.
All right.
I don't like that these guys are made heroes just
But
to
see, that's
come
the
out and
thing
say
though.
they're gay.
Jason
You know what I
Collins
mean?
came out after.
But they're making him, oh, he's such a hero.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. They didn't do that with him. That's why ESPN's blowing it up way more than they
Okay,
need to.
let's get
But
back.
anyways, moving on. Now we need to talk about even more in the NFL. We're gonna go on to our award predictions. Talk about the MVP, possible comeback player of the years, defensive player of the year, offensive player of the year, and rookie players of the year. So starting off, go ahead, Neymar. Who do you think is gonna be the MVP?
The MVP of the league. You know, everybody's gonna say, oh, but Peyton Manning. But no, I believe it's gonna be Drew Brees this year. I believe Drew Brees is gonna show out with the Saints this year. And I mean, really, what competition do they have in the AFC side? I mean, the NFC side. You know, I mean, honestly, I think it's gonna be Drew Brees. Drew Brees will be MVP this year.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going out on a limb. The goddamn MVP and the comeback player of the year will be Jay motherfucking Cutler.
God.
Number 6.
This is my problem.
No.
This is my problem with that.
Whoa, 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 no.
This is my problem with that.
Everybody's gonna have a piece.
No. This is my problem with that.
Oh, yeah.
Not about your selection,
Mhm.
but we can't discuss comebacks because we don't know right now which players are going to struggle and then come back.
No, we could talk like Gronkowski, but
Yeah, that was gone for
we're
last
talking
year.
about players that were gone for.
So you're talking about the guys that struggled last year.
No, yeah,
That's how they do it?
Yeah.
Because I thought it was they struggled in the beginning
No,
and they
no,
came
no.
out
or
strong at the end.
missed
No,
us,
and that's how they.
and
with
missed a
injuries.
significant amount of time,
Yeah,
and then have a great year.
and they're having a great
That's
year
what
this
comeback
year.
is.
That's
Yeah.
what comeback
Okay,
player
well,
is.
now that I got clarification, because I thought they had to struggle first. I'm like, we can't tell who's gonna struggle, you know, and then turn around,
We're talking
and then
about
turn
who
around.
has a great year
Yeah.
after having
Yeah,
either
having
a
a-
horrible
having an
year,
okay year
or
or
a
horrible
long
year.
injury.
Okay,
That's what
well, I
comeback is.
apologize.
Oh, no problem. Thanks. Anyway, get back to like I was saying. Jay motherfucking Cutler, Super 6. His ass will have
Gotta leave
the
it alone.
MVP. He will either the comeback player of the year, damn sure the fucking MVP. And the crazy thing is, I'm not the only motherfucker saying it. Michael Irvin came out and said it. Brian Billick came out and fucking said it. It's people saying it.
I haven't heard these people saying this. I heard Chicago radio stations saying this.
Hey, you better
know
go
what
read
I
up.
mean?
You better
I done
go read
seen,
up.
I done seen
Mike
Chicago
Irvin probably slanging
newspapers.
that coke again for thinking that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He out there with
Don't
Leon Lett.
don't
You know what I
disrespect
mean?
NBA.
Like, man, come on.
The bottom line
that
is
shit 'cause
this.
he picked color.
The bottom line is this: in order to be considered as an MVP, you have to play the whole season, right?
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's
He
what
might
I'm
have
talking
some
about.
hemorrhoid problems or something like he did last year or something, you know?
Looked like he was
Get
riding a
some time.
horse.
Okay.
That groin injury.
I'm glad that y'all
looked
getting all these shits.
It looked like he was like riding a horse. the wrong
When
way.
goddamn Jay Cutler get that MVP, all you motherfuckers will shut the fuck up, and I will enjoy that immensely.
You said that last year.
I'll tell you this: when that faithful day comes, and Jay
It's
Cutler,
coming soon.
and Jay
It's
Cutler
coming
does
soon.
capture the MVP,
It's coming
I'll
soon.
give him all his credit in the world because I talk a lot of shit on Jay Cutler.
You
because
damn
to
right
me,
you did.
He's average at best.
Cabernet
My quarterback came into the league and went further than Jay Cutler ever has. So
One game.
I'ma just
He
be-
went to the Super Bowl and that's it.
I'm gonna
One
just be
game.
real. I'm gonna just be real
Okay.
about it. He's already
And,
gone further than that.
and shit, you talking about your
Cutler ever
quarterback?
has.
That motherfucker didn't regress. Yeah, talk about that
Alright.
shit.
Oh, don't worry, I will when it gets off to me.
Hey, we ain't talking about that right now. We're talking about our pick for
Who's
the
your
MVP.
MVP?
My pick for the MVP was actually a candidate, as far as I know, was a candidate that was the MVP for last year. My pick for MVP is LaShawn McCoy. Shady. If you really think about it, that Eagles
You gotta do a lot.
offense runs through him. It doesn't run through Nick Foles. LaShawn McCoy can run the ball, one of the best, if not the best, because him and Adrian Peterson are starting
Well,
starting to even out.
LaShawn
He's good
McCoy was
fantasy.
considered
Yeah.
the best running back of last year.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. This year, I think he'll be MVP
Yeah, Matt
because
Forte.
I know they do got Darren Sproles. Don't think I didn't hear that
Yeah.
shit. But you know what? If it all comes down to it, LaShawn McCoy knows the playbook, knows the patterns a whole lot more than Darren Sproles. They still pass it out to him in the outfield or backfield, like sweep, whatever like that, quick out, whatever you want to call it. That's why I think that he'll be MVP because he is just plain and simple the best team on that Eagles offense, on that Eagles team. Period.
But he has to
If
stay
he
healthy.
didn't have,
he gets nicked up.
He has to stay
oh
healthy.
yeah, he has to stay healthy and everything else like that. But I mean,
So
his
does Jay
game,
Cutler.
his ridiculous
He has to
game
stay
that he
healthy,
had
too.
was in the
Is
snow
he young
last
team
year.
healthy?
And so I
Yeah.
think that's my
Kaepernick's
pick.
ready.
Man,
Shit.
what the fuck? Anyways, I'm just playing.
Kaepernick's ready, dude.
Anyways,
He ain't ready.
so my pick for
Ready
MVP
to-
will be
ready to-
LaShawn McCoy. I'm gonna stay by that pick because I think that, of course, as long as he stays healthy, that he will have that, and that will be pretty much a lock that he will get an MVP.
But see that for running backs to get an MVP, you gotta do some shit like AP did.
Yeah.
You gotta have that 2,000 fucking yards.
But the thing is,
He worked so hard to
but
get that, and they
McCoy-
still act like they didn't want to give it to him.
But McCoy is capable of it. Marshall Faulk got an MVP, not necessarily for getting 2,000 yards, but for having an all-around game.
But see, he got
And he is
all
the number.
purpose.
He is the number one
Shady-
back
Shady
in doing
McCoy.
that.
But I
so
like-
he
I
can
like
do it.
Shady. Don't
Shady
get me wrong.
McCoy, he don't
But he's
catch
talking about
too
the foot.
much. He catches,
Yeah.
but not too much. It ain't like Forte, like he can catch like that.
Yeah.
That's what might hinder him from getting that award. Now he can fucking put up 1,600
Wait a
yards.
minute, hold on. Did you just say Matt Forte is a better catcher out of the backfield than Shady McCoy?
Yes, I did.
Are you smoking
Oh,
crack?
oh,
There you
oh.
go.
No,
Okay.
no,
That
because
just-
Forte got the fucking resume.
Okay,
You better
but hold on.
look it up.
Shady's got the
This,
resume.
how last
Bullshit.
I remember
I got it.
how last week how you said that bullshit about how you're objective. That shows right there you ain't objective. All right, Charles, who's your pick for MVP?
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. I honestly think, in my heart of hearts, that my quarterback, Colin Kaepernick, will be the NFL MVP. But I am putting conditions on that. Just like any other player. All I'm asking the NFL to do is consider him. If he plays like a goddamn wild man, and we go into Seattle and he performs well against Seattle, and we end up winning the NFC West, and we're sitting pretty in the 1 or 2 spot, you need to consider my quarterback for MVP. Don't give it to Aaron Rodgers just because he's Aaron Rodgers. I'm not gonna tolerate that shit this year, and I will be vocal throughout this show about that. My
Well,
comeback player of the year is gonna be Eli Manning. Because, I'm sorry, what he did last year is not even close to what he can do. So I pick him for comeback player,
And Eli
but,
always gets shit.
but I'm picking
do that.
my quarterback because you know what? For you to pick Jay Cutler, I'm going to pick Colin Kaepernick, and they both one and the same. We got receiving cores now, and we got tight ends, we got running games. The quarterback position is futile, and it has to be done accordingly. One of our quarterbacks can make that MVP if they go out and do what they're supposed to do with the tools that they are providing. But as far as anybody else, let me tell you something. I respect Drew Brees. I respect the hell out of Drew Brees. I respect Drew Brees, and he throws for more yards than anybody else in the league.
But see, he's good.
But the problem with Drew
Spread that
Brees
ball
is,
around.
once you hit Drew Brees is shook for the rest of the game. Speaking from 49er experience. That's how we beat Drew Brees.
We don't play him this year.
We play him almost every year, and we
I know
we
we
get him. That was some bullshit last year.
But hold on, really
I'll say that.
Before
But when you hit
scoot in, because I think you might be out of the shot. 'Cause you're a little farther away.
when you hit Drew Brees, he's just like Tom Brady. Once he gets hit one or two good times, then his game falls off after that. See, to be an MVP, you're gonna have to get hit a few times and still come back and make those plays. LaShawn McCoy. Well, I think you already said it. For a running back to get the MVP, he got to damn near be on Dickerson's ass
Yeah.
to get that damn shit. But LaShawn McCoy, in all aspects, he is a good running back, and I'll give him his credit. But they still pay attention to Nick Foles more than they do him.
And I think this year, like with the McCoy thing, I think people want to figure out that Philly thing.
I think so too. I don't think he's gonna have the impact this year.
Well,
It just takes a season.
it looked like
For you to figure it out.
looked like they figured it out in the middle of last season, and they adjusted to it, and then they had basically had to start all over again. There's and the way that it's ran, the way that what the fuck is his name? Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
The way that he runs that offense, the way he's doing it at Oregon, he always makes adjustments when people adjust to him. So
I didn't remember Oregon win no national title.
I'm not saying,
either.
but they were there though. That's what I'm saying. They were
Who
there.
was that? We was watching that shit. Like Chip Kelly. Who the fuck is Chip
But-
Kelly?
All I'm saying is that Chip Kelly can add wrinkles to where a defense has to adjust to it. So it's not like it's a certain set way
He just needs
of an
some
offense.
defensive help.
And I'm
That's always gonna be their problem.
honestly fuck the Eagles. And I don't even have LaShawn McCoy on my fantasy team. But I think
They wings.
he'll be a prime pick for MVP. So moving on, we're gonna go ahead and talk about 4 games coming up this week on Sunday. Then we're gonna go ahead and have our upset special. Now, first game we're gonna bring up is Carolina Panthers versus the Tampa Bay Bucks. Now, last year Carolina won the division, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were on the bottom of the division. Now, Tampa Bay signed Lovie Smith as their new coach. They read up a lot of players on that offense and their defense. Carolina, obviously I'm a fan, and you guys know, we had a little bit of a turbulent offense, to say the least. Off season. But, well, shit. By the way it's going right now, offense too. I can be
They didn't
honest.
do nothing to help Cam, man. They took all his weapons away.
Hold on, let me
But-
get a little synopsis.
It's NFC South has always been a competitive division. No division winner has ever repeated ever since the NFC South has came into existence. So starting off, we're gonna go ahead and let these guys go ahead and pick, and I'll go ahead and go my pick last. So, how you want to go?
Tampa Bay by 10.
Okay.
I think maybe about 20. Because if you sit there and think about it, you got Tampa Bay with McCown, you got Mike Evans there, you got Doug Martin still there.
They're not
Vincent
gonna
Jackson.
go. They're not gonna go up by 20 on Carolina's defense, but I say
But
they'll beat them by 7-3.
But
though.
see, you got to remember, even with Carolina's vaunted defense, it don't mean shit.
Is Greg Hardy playing?
Yeah, he's playing.
That means a lot, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, even with they vaunted defense, you got to remember
Because
this.
again, he ain't been proven yet either, right? So the same conversation I get
No.
about Ray McDonald, same thing.
Hardy has been guilty. They're having, yeah, I know, we're going off the subject, but the jury trial's in November. We've already talked about
But
that.
he's gonna play.
He's gonna play. We already
Okay, that's all we
already
need to
talked
know.
about that. We're talking about picking the team. So
That's what I mean. That's a real. Before you say 20 points, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, now what I'm saying, the 20 points is if they ain't got no fucking offense, that means the defense gonna be on the field more, which means the defense get burnt out. I don't give a fuck if you got the 85 Bears out there. they're gonna fucking get go down. Because if the defense is on the field longer, they're gonna get tired.
You know,
When they get tired,
there are
holes
other-
are gonna open. When
There are
holes
other great
open,
defenses, you know that, right?
The 94 49ers.
no. When fucking defenses get tired,
Still curtain.
passes
What year was that?
get open.
Talking about
74,
74,
75.
Y'all defense last year.
Okay, now my pick, I will say I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay by 6. You know what I mean? I don't think it's gonna be a big offensive affair because I believe Carolina didn't do enough for Cam in the offseason. They lost too many, even though they still got the running game. Don't get me wrong, they still got the running game, but they didn't do enough at the receiver position.
Whoa,
For that. Man.
whoa. Did you say running game?
That's what's if they just gotta run the ball.
Running game?
Hey,
They
they
run
were
the
top
ball.
10 running.
They gotta run the
offense
ball.
last season.
They got 3 bum ass running backs. How the fuck you got a running game?
And they pull that payroll down so
They
hard.
were a top 10 offensive
Yeah,
running
you know,
game.
see, let me finish. Let me finish.
But yeah,
They still have the running game. They can lean on that. But as far as there's no, I mean, Jericho Cotchery played for the Steelers the last couple of years. Okay, I know he can get it done. You know what I mean?
He had 10 touchdowns last year.
Yeah, they had Avant. You know what I mean? He was good at Michigan. You know what I mean? I don't know about with Philadelphia. But what my thing is, taking nothing away from those boys. They're not scrubs, but they didn't do enough for Cam, man. I mean, I thought they did him pretty dirty after the season that Cam had last year. You're gonna put him in this year.
Who's the receivers?
Jericho Cotchery and Jason and Avant. That's it.
Well, we got Kevin
Jason
Read
Avant?
your mind.
Avant ain't did shit since Michigan.
He ain't never did shit.
He did it in Michigan.
I don't understand how he had a
But
job.
I got
he did it in
but I got
Philly.
Tampa Bay by 6 because I believe
You being
that
generous.
Tampa Bay by 6. I believe Tampa Bay's gonna run the ball well on the defense. You know what I mean? Even though
Anthony,
Carolina's defense.
I'm sorry to
is
say,
big.
Panthers in the shit house.
I don't believe it's
You
gonna be a
just
blowout.
gotta get used to that.
Well, we'll get to
Moving
your
on.
Bears in a second. You're talking about shithouse. Anyways,
Franchise.
obviously I got Carolina winning, but I only got them winning by 3.
What's the meaning of this?
It's your state of mind.
Wax Taylor.
That's right, cuz.